Hello everyone, my name is Vince. Welcome to Yin Yoga. For this class, you'll need props like your bolsters and your blocks. We'll all start in a lying down position. As you lie down, can you feel the length of your spine? Can you feel the bones of your hands, of your arms, of your shoulders? Can you feel the head heavy? Can you feel your long spine supported by the mat? Can you feel your heavy pelvis? This midsection is the heaviest part of our body. Notice how it's being pulled by gravity. Notice also the weight of your legs, the feet splaying out to the sides. Just relax here in awareness. Can you bend your knees out to the sides, create a diamond shape with your legs. Bring the soles of your feet together. Notice how we're able to give good stress to the tissues of your inner legs. Notice your breath. Notice your body. Observe the mind. And the emotions and feelings in your heart. If we look back, most of the embarrassing things that we have done in the past, most of the, what we can say, stupid behavior that we did in the past are usually a result of mindlessness, of not being fully conscious of what we're doing in the present moment. Notice how mindlessness has a lot of consequences. And then notice the benefits of mindfulness. How our mind, how our body, how our heart works better when we are more mindful. And this is what we will cultivate in our practice. This self-awareness, mind awareness, heart awareness. And as we become more aware, we become more full, more mindful, and more heartful. You can use your hands to try to help your thighs, your knees come up. And please bring the knees closer to your chest. Can you step your feet on the mat? Can you try to grab a block or two? I would suggest for you to use the lowest height of your block so that you don't topple, the block doesn't fall. We're going to place your props under the hips. So you'll take an inhale, you lift your hips up, and we're going to slide a block or two under the hips, under the pelvis, under the sacrum. Make sure that no part of the block is hitting any part of your lower spine. Once you find stability, slide your heels away from you. And you can bring your arms up overhead. Enjoy giving this healthy stress to the front of your body. Earlier you may have felt the lengthening on the tissues of your inner legs. This time notice the lengthening in front of your thighs. Notice how it feels to be in this inversion, how it is very calming for the mind. Your heart is also beating in this opposite orientation. Just allow yourself to submit and surrender to this pose. Feel the force of gravity pulling us towards the earth. Grounding us. Try to relax. As we take into consideration the 3 tenets of the Yin Yoga practice, the first being to find your edge. In this pose, we choose 1 or 2 blocks. Depends how many props our body would need to find that edge where we feel the stress, or in some people's terms, a stretch. Once you find your edge, we will stay still. We want to relax and also try to soften and quiet our muscles. And each movement will engage our muscles. So we want to try to soften as much as we can. And the third tenet is to wait for time. Usually we stay in poses from between 2 to 5 minutes. And as we wait, we turn inwards. We observe and we feel. Slowly bring the arms beside you. Can you step your feet on the mat? On your next breath, when you inhale, you're going to lift your hips up and we'll slide the prop to the sides and we'll rest our pelvis on the mat. Your knees leaning together, your feet as wide as your mat. You can place one hand on your belly, one hand on the chest. Continue to notice your breath. Continue to notice your body as we try to rebound from the pose, as we allow our body to heal. Can you gently extend your legs to the lower right side of your mat? Legs are straight, pointing towards the lower right. The hips remain on the left. Try to glue your buttocks on the mat. That is the key to a good banana sana pose. Bring your arms up overhead. Right hand grabs the left wrist. Points your arms to the upper right. Try to relax your face and your neck. You can gaze towards the ceiling or towards the left armpit. Notice and feel how we're able to release tension on the whole left side of your body. From the sides of your thighs. Remember earlier we gave a nice stretch to the inner legs and then the top of your legs. This time now we're giving stress to your E-RYT band, the sides of the thighs. There's also lengthening being felt on the sides of your belly, the side ribs, the armpits. Just notice your breath. Notice your body. Notice the stillness, the restfulness. Sometimes in life, what we do is already enough. Just showing up, just trying. Sometimes perfection is not necessary. In this case, as we practice, it's not really so important where your legs are, where your hands, arms are placed. What is more important is how you are feeling this shape, how you're improving the flow of energy within, and how you're making your tissues feel important. Slowly we'll allow our arms to come back to center, gently followed by the legs. And once your legs are on a straight line, can you bring your knees into the chest and hug the knees to your chest? Slowly we will extend our legs to the lower left side of your mat. We'll bring our arms up and overhead. And we're going to try to point our arms to the upper left. So your left hand can grab the right wrist. You can gaze towards the ceiling or towards the right armpit. Feel the space on the right side of your body. Our mind is like a double-edged sword. If used properly, our mind is such a strong tool to create great things for ourselves, for other people, and for the human race. If not used properly, the mind causes destruction, idleness, or the mind itself can even serve as the barrier for our life to improve. A lot of things in life are beyond our control. We cannot help some things from happening or some people to be the way they are. And in these instances, that we cannot change what happens outside, the mind is very important in reframing and changing things from the inside. The mind can shift how we perceive things. The mind can reframe the meaning that we are placing on things and events. Mistakes are what point us towards a different direction in life. When we go through difficulties and trouble, our life will never be the same. And it's usually our mind which will determine if events will break us or break us open into the better versions of ourselves. As we stay here lying down, try to observe the patterns in your mind. We'll gently bring the arms back to center and the legs. And then we'll bend the knees and hug the knees to the chest. Can you bring your right arm up? Allow the knees to come down on the right side. Come into a fetal position. Reminder not to suddenly jump up after a moment of rest. We slowly rise to take care of our heart and our blood pressure. Use your left hand, slowly push your body to come up. Face towards the long side of your mat. We're going to do our straddle pose, spreading our legs wide apart. If you have a meditation pillow, or a flat bolster or blanket, you can sit on that prop so that you can try to tilt your hips forward. You can try to place your props as well in front of you, as many props as needed. Depends on your body. Slowly see if you can come down on your hands. Maybe come down on your forehead, come down on your forearms. It doesn't matter how low or high you are. What's important is that you're feeling good stress at the inner legs, at the back of your legs. And we come into a forward fold. Notice how you have moved your spine in all directions. Notice how we have been trying to target the thighs, the legs, in as many directions as we can. Notice your breath. Notice your body. And try to dig deep into your mind. And this is where you will find all the answers. Just try to feel, try to notice. Try to soften as well. One of the best gifts of a human being is the ability to introspect, the ability to reflect. Not all human beings have this intellectual ability. Not all beings, I mean. A lot just react on instinct. The disadvantage sometimes is that we are living too much in our minds instead of living in the present moment. So sometimes the mind gets in the way of us being fully in the present moment. Slowly energize your hands and your arms. Walk the hands closer to you. You can place your hands behind you. You can lean back. You can puff the chest up. Slowly come up. You can remove the prop from behind you. You can remove the props as well from in front of you. Set them aside. Can you bend your right knee? Place the right shin parallel to the long side of your mat. Can you bend your left knee? Swing that left shin so that the left shin is parallel to the short side of your mat. Notice how in this position you feel good stress in front of the left thigh. You can even move that left knee a bit more to the back so that you feel that nice stress. Can you place your left hand on top of the right knee? Place the right hand behind you. We'll gaze towards the right shoulder. You can place a block under the right hand on its lowest height. Notice how this twist feels on the belly, on the tissues of the spine. When we do laundry, we twist, we squeeze laundry to clean garments. The same with our spine. This twisting action is very detoxifying. It cleans our body, our tissues. Notice this squeeze. Just relax. Try to relax and soften your face. Relax and soften the neck and the shoulders. Can you try to grab a bolster? Can you place it on the right side? You can use 2 bolsters. You will go deeper into this shape the more that your prop is facing towards the upper right side of your mat. We'll slowly place our hands on opposite sides of your prop. You can move the legs, you can move the hips as needed. We'll slowly come down on our forearms. We'll slowly rest our chest, our head on the bolster. Notice if there's any unbearable discomfort in front of your hip bone. If there is, you can place a blanket or a pillow or a towel in between the right thigh and your belly. Another twist here, deeper than earlier. to detoxify and cleanse our body. What sensations do you feel? How is your breath? How is your heart? What can you observe about the mind? As we spend time with ourselves, as we dig deep into our minds, we might discover things about us that we're not exactly happy about or proud of. Recognize that you are a human being, imperfect and flawed, just like everyone else. And the best way to release these negative emotions within us is to forgive. Forgive ourselves for being imperfect, and forgive our fellow human beings as well. The more we forgive, the lighter our life becomes. Forgiveness is like spring cleaning for the house, letting go of what does not serve us, what we do not need. This is a good sign of growth, a good way to be happy, a good way to move forward and move on. Try to love everything about yourself. This can help you live every moment in the best of your abilities as a human being. Notice how you're able to release in this pose so many aspects of our lives. Physically, it's a wind releasing pose. It releases excess gas. Physically, it releases toxins from stagnated parts in our body. And in your mind, you'll notice how it releases all of these thoughts and emotions. Slowly take an inhale. Use your hands and we'll gently prop ourselves up. We'll place the props aside so that we can lie down on our back, just to allow ourselves to rebound, to rest, to heal. Please step the feet on your mat as wide as you can, and then we'll windshield wiper our knees from side to side. And when your knees come down on the left side, we'll face towards the left, come into a fetal position. And when you're ready, push your body with your right hand and come up. We will face front towards the long side of your mat. Can you place your left leg in front of you? Left shin is parallel to the long side of your mat. Can you bend your right knee with the right shin parallel to the short side of your mat? Notice how it feels in this shape. Notice the stress in front of your right thigh. Can you place your left hand behind you, the right hand on top of the left knee? You can place a block under the left hand. You can gaze towards the left shoulder. Try to relax and soften the feet. Try to relax and soften the legs. Try to soften the groin. Notice how twists are able to touch in to so many tissues of our body. Maybe even touching areas along our shoulders. When you are more mindful, when you are able to observe yourself more, you will notice patterns in your body, in your mind, and in your heart, both positive and negative. And we can be more conscious of all the choices that we make to do what serves us and to let go of the rest. Try to see if you can grab a bolster or two. Can you place that prop on your left side? The more that the prop faces the upper left side of your mat, the deeper that you will come into a twist or rotation. Place both hands on opposite sides of your prop. Again, you can move your hips, you can move the knees, you can move the legs. See if you can slowly come down on your hands, on your forearms. You can gaze towards the left shoulder. You can add props as needed. You can use two bolsters or even use a block. If you don't have props, you can also rest your head on your forearms. Again, if there's pinching or any unbearable compression in front of your pelvic bone, you can place a pillow, a blanket, a towel. You can roll up your prop, place it in front of the pelvic bone where there's compression. And then see how you can surrender. See how you can just sink into this pose. And just relax your hands. Just soften. Just relax your shoulders and soften. Relax your body. Soften the groin, soften the legs, and soften the feet. Continue to observe your breath. Continue to observe. Continue to cherish and appreciate being fully in the present moment. Letting go of the past is one way to fully be in the present moment. Another way is to let go of our attachments to future outcomes. Sometimes we tend to preconceive the future too much. Try to let go. Throughout the course of our lifetime, what are the chances that events won't unfold to our favor? That people will not do exactly what we expect them to do? And when we attach too much, we get disappointed. The thing is, it doesn't follow that if things don't go in the way that we preconceived it to be, that they are wrong. There are many ways how events can unfold, how people can solve problems. And this is part of growth. This is part of what it means to be living on earth. There are many different ways. There are many different results. And that's why it's good to let go and acknowledge the limitations of our own mind. Please take an inhale. Slowly walk your hands closer to you. Place the props aside. We'll gently extend our legs so that we can lie down on our back and release the shape. Rest our spine, rest our hips, rest our head. When you're ready, can you step your feet on the mat and windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And once the knees come down on the right side, just allow them to stay there. You can bring the arms out to the sides like a letter T or up and overhead. You can gaze towards the left shoulder. You can adjust the knees, stacking them together. You can place props in between the knees, or you can support your knees as you come into this recline twist. As we stay here in this twist, we try to continue to forgive and let go. By always dwelling on the past, you stay stuck on the old. And it prevents new things from entering. And you will just constantly repeat the same patterns all over and over again. The pattern in your head of carrying over pain, harboring bitterness and hate. But when we forgive and we let go, we can move on to the next chapters of our life. We can choose brighter, better, happier. And we can fully be in the present moment, not just using the present moment, dwelling on the past. We say that forgiveness is like medicine, and resentment is like poison. Poison that we're swallowing, hoping that another person will die. But it is us really who is suffering, blocking all the good things from flowing into our lives. You slowly bring the arms beside you. Can you gently bring the knees back to center? And we'll slowly again windshield wiper our knees from side to side. Feel the slide and glide. Feel the space. And then when your left knee falls to the left side, just allow the knees to come down. And then you can bring your arms out to the sides or up and overhead. You can adjust your knees by stacking them together. You can gaze towards the ceiling or towards the right armpit. You can place a prop in between the knees. Feel the space on the whole right side of your body. Just continue to notice your breath. Just continue to notice your mind. Just continue to notice the sensations in your body. When our life is so hectic, we forget to take care of ourselves. We forget to do that spring cleaning of our minds and our hearts. We just allow all the dirt and the dust to gather. And it makes ourselves feel so heavy. This can be a good checkpoint if you're collecting dirt in your life. If all of these negative aspects of life are accumulating in your being, the more mindful we are, the more heartful we are, the more we can observe everything that is happening within us and around us. The more we can observe, the more we can pivot. Sometimes the best strategy in life is a change in our strategy. Continue to just hear that inner voice. Continue to listen to that voice of love within to guide you. Okay, slowly bring the arms beside you. Gently step the right foot on the mat and step the left foot as well. And we windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Do any last movement that the body is asking from you. You can hug the knees to the chest, massage your back, move from side to side. And when you're ready, can you just extend your legs? Your feet are as wide as your mat. Your arms are beside you. Your palms are facing up. Take rest in awareness in your Savasana. Slowly take a deep breath. How does your body feel? How is it in your heart and in your mind? Can you introduce movements to your fingers and toes? Can you rotate your ankles and wrists? Can you move your head from side to side? Gently bring the arms up. Can you bend your knees? Step the feet on your mat. Allow the knees to come down on the left side. Use your left arm as your pillow. Use your right hand. Slowly push your body to come up. We face front to close our practice. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. I appreciate your time and your trust. I wish you an abundance of health, wealth, happiness, peace, love, joy, all the good things to flow into your hearts, into your lives, and into your homes. Please stay safe. Please stay strong. Namaste.